All right, so here's some more information. We asked some students, this is fake, I made it up, okay. Why did you choose CSu-Pueblo as the school you went to? Okay, because you picked it because you're here. And the possible categories listed are, it's small, it's not expensive, it's high quality, it's safe, the weather's fine, my major that I want was here. Those are your choices that you get to pick. And you can pick more than one, obviously, because you might say, well, I came mostly because of the quality, but partly because of the cost. Or I like the small size and the fact that it's safe, and the weather doesn't hurt either, has my major. Pick whichever ones you want. You could sign up for all of those if you wanted to. And then you have to ask yourself, well, it's the old question, are these parts of a whole? I mean, parts of a whole. Parts of a whole means you can't be in more than one. So if you answer one of them yes, you can't answer yes to anything else. So that would divide the students up into 6 different categories. You can say, which was most important to you? That would be parts of a whole. But if you said, give me some choices about why you chose CSu-Pueblo, and you can pick more than one, they are parts of a whole. So you look at the data, and they may not have explained that up front, but you have to find out. Are you allowed to choose more than one? If you are, it's not parts of a whole. So based on what I was saying, that you weren't asked to choose one, that you can choose more than one, no. So not if a response could be choosing more than one of these. So no, probably no. Okay. So noticing it's not parts of whole, then that'll enable you to decide what kinds of frequency and relative frequency graphs are possible. So here's frequency graphs. Here's relative frequency graphs. So in actual fact, since these aren't parts of a whole, no relative frequency graphs make any sense. So you're not going to make relative frequency bar graphs. You're not going to make Pareto, and you're not going to make pie charts. That's not to say you couldn't take the data and do it, but when you make relative frequency graphs, which are relative frequency bar graphs, either Pareto or not, or pie charts involving what fraction of a whole you're talking about, it's implicit in all of these that everything's fraction of a whole, so you shouldn't do it. You can draw the graph, but it's going to be misleading. It's going to look like people can't decide what they think is most important. That's what it would look like here, when they really would decide if you gave them a chance. The data let them choose more than one thing. And otherwise, you're allowed to do bar graphs and Pareto graphs where you just use the frequency, and the frequencies are just these numbers. So if you were going to do that, the way you would set that up is you would go like this. Now there's 6 categories. Oh, this is bad. Okay. So we've got small, we've got the cost, we've got the quality, we've got the fact that it's safe, we've got the weather, and the major here. We're going to start at 0 because that's how you have to make these. So area is proportional to the number of observations. And we look up here and we say, oh, well, so the biggest number is like 3,600. So maybe I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4,000. Yeah. And small is 2512, so that'd be right about here. And the cost 3652, maybe here. And then quality 24, it's pretty close to this 25, just a little bit less. You see why you might want to make a Pareto graph. Safety 1864, maybe here. And then weather 952, just about 1,000, a little bit less. And then major 675. There we go. We accommodated that. And if we put these in, put them in increasing order, this is a bar graph right here. And this one we put the bars in increasing or decreasing order. Same graph, but put the bars in increasing or decreasing order. So the first one was an example where you had parts of a whole situation and you had 5 choices of graphs. Here it wasn't parts of a whole, so you only had 2 choices of graphs. And that's all the categorical graphs we're going to do. And that's section 2.1. And we're moving on.